How can business leaders effectively use, say, social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, those platforms to attract and close high ticket clients? You just mentioned posting consistently and putting out content, but how can they effectively do it so it's not feeling like it's overwhelming?
Yeah. If you can't do 3 posts a day, that's fine, but try to set a goal like one every 2 days to start. Okay. Everything's little victories. And I think it's just like when you're trying to get in a workout routine, it's like, just go 3 days this week, or just set a goal to work out for 15 minutes. Okay. Eventually it gets easier. You get in a flow. Just start posting something. If it's 1 post a week, do 1 post a week. Okay. But the thing is you can't overthink it. Okay, a lot of people are I gotta have the perfect lighting. I gotta have the great edits and the thing that pops up in the background because it makes me look so good. It's like, man, some of the best stuff in TikTok and Instagram Reels, YouTube Reels are people that are literally holding their phone and they're like, hey, what's going on? I wanna help you get good at sales. Here's 3 things, right?
Welcome to the Business Growth Spotlight, where we shine the light and talk with business leaders from all over the world to share their insights and expertise so we can all grow together. I'm your host, Heidi Schock, and I'm the co-founder of the Spotlight to Scale Accelerator, where we drive revenue for companies by making sure they're seen as the authority and go-to expert in their industry versus just another product or service. And I'm excited to be chatting today and bringing you my guest, Chad Aleo with High Ticket Sales Academy. So welcome, Chad.
Hey, thanks so much, Heidi. Excited to be here. I've listened to a few of your podcast episodes already, and man, you just bring such killer content. You bring on some really sharp folks, and I'm excited to be here. It's always fun to have these interviews.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, let's dive in because I'm really excited for this conversation. So Chad, can we start out with telling us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and your journey?
Yeah, great question. I'll start before I get into what I do, because I think everyone's always curious. How did you get to where you are? So I do run a business called High Ticket Sales Academy. Anyone can check us out at highticketsalesacademy.com. But how I got here, actually, when I was a college student, I started as a door-to-door salesman. And I did for 3 summers. I sold educational books that help kids and parents help their kids with like school stuff. And I did it door-to-door, 100% commission. Anyone listening, you might have had a college kid knocking on your door in the summer selling you stuff. I was one of those kids, 3 summers, had a lot of success, actually paid for my entire tuition, like in a 12-week, sprint selling period.
Wow.
I did that for 3 years. Okay. And I realized I got a niche for sales, started an insurance agency, did that for 5 years, sold it. And then I was like, I want to get in the online space. Got to high ticket sales, that industry, if you've heard about it, remote closing, whatever. Did that for 7 years for a really reputable company. And then decided to, hey, I want to start and teach people how to make that same transition. And then of course, place for companies. So that's how I got to where I am in a really quick nutshell. But I just realized sales was something that I was very good at. Okay. But not good because I was sleazy, good because I was good at helping people sell the right way, right? And just do it with integrity, mindset, that type of thing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about sales and how not to feel salesy. I definitely want to get in that conversation, and it's about being personable and really wanting to help people succeed in some way or get that solution. So before we dive into all of that though, what are the key differences? Because you focus on high ticket sales. So what are the key differences between selling low ticket versus high ticket? And you mentioned mindset. So what are the mindset shifts that are necessary to succeed in high ticket sales?
Yeah. Well, the first question is like, what's the difference between a low ticket, high ticket? I think anything that's above, a $2,000 at least price range, upwards to some of the more expensive offers. You've probably seen masterminds that sell for 45,000, whatever, 100K, whatever. That's going to be more in your high ticket range because you're trying to get someone to buy something of $2,000 in a 45 to 60 minute phone call or Zoom call, right? And you're selling some element of high level coaching consulting. Lower ticket is obviously going to be stuff that's a couple $100. Anybody can make a decision on that if they really want to. And most people have the credit to afford that stuff, right? So it doesn't take as much to sell that offer, right? So that's going to be your high ticket aspect. But at the end of the day, you mentioned mindset, right? Mindset's a huge thing, I think, in all sales. It doesn't matter what you're selling. At the end of the day, I believe sales is like 80% mindset, 20% skill set. If you don't have that grit, that ability to realize that, yeah, it's a numbers game, and that ability to keep yourself in a positive state, a positive flow, all of those things. I mean, when you're getting beat down with rejection after rejection, especially when you're starting a business or you just got that brand new sales job, it's really easy to start having Mr. Mediocrity climb up on your shoulder and say, this isn't the best opportunity for you. You're not good at this. You should quit, right? And that's a really common thing that I just see a lot of people struggle with. But if you get past that, then you refine your skill set. You become extremely dangerous in sales. But the mindset, the mental muscle is the hardest part for a lot of people to get at grips until they've been through it enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about trust and authority, because when you're selling high ticket, right, there's a process there. So how can business owners and sales professionals position themselves as trusted advisors rather than just quote unquote salespeople?
Great question. A trusted advisor is someone that puts out amazing content. I think in the business space, it's often overlooked. Like, you got to put out content and put your best stuff out there for free. Because the only way people are going to realize that you're a true professional in your space isn't because you list all these accolades on your website. I did this, I've been there, I did that. It's like you're putting out real content that they can use actionably in whatever their challenges is in right now. And if you're not posting 3 times a day on social media, you are losing in business right now. But it's like, how do I put my best stuff out there so people realize, wow, this stuff works? I wonder what it would be like if I actually paid this person. What would they give me then? Okay. And sure, you want to have a better experience, but it's all about value. How do I provide people value before I take money from them?
So you just mentioned posting on social media. So let's talk about that, because if somebody just heard you, like, we have to post 3 times a day, and they're a company and they don't really have that team in place. How can business leaders effectively use, say, social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, those platforms to attract and close high ticket clients? You just mentioned posting consistently and putting out content, but how can they effectively do it so it's not feeling like it's overwhelming?
Yeah. If you can't do 3 posts a day, that's fine, but try to set a goal like 1 every 2 days to start. Okay. Yeah. Everything's little victories. And I think it's just like when you're trying to get in a workout routine, it's like, just go 3 days this week, or just set a goal to work out for 15 minutes. Okay. Eventually it gets easier. You get in a flow. Just start posting something. If it's 1 post a week, do 1 post a week. Okay. But the thing is you can't overthink it. Okay. A lot of people are I got to have the perfect lighting. I got to have the great edits and the thing that pops up in the background because it makes me look so good. It's like, man, some of the best stuff in TikTok and Instagram reels, YouTube reels are people that are literally holding their phone and they're like, hey, what's going on? I want to help you get good at sales. Here's 3 things, right? And then they just explain the 3 things, and like that stuff goes viral, right? And so it's also that element where you got to like not be a perfectionist, and you just got to post, okay? And then we probably won't go into this a ton, but it's like last thing, and you guys can Google this. It's all about hooks. Make sure you have a really good opening hook where it's like, hey, are you struggling to make more money? Or, hey, is your business failing because you're people keep quitting? You must be bad at leadership. Here's what you need to do to get better. Like, those are hooks. It drags the right person in. Now they're going to listen to you. That's the difference in social media.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to stop that scroll. And the only way you're going to stop that scroll is by having a really captivating hook where somebody's like, okay, I got to dive in deeper to here, and make sure that your content matches your hook. We don't want to do a bait and switch on them either, because that's a quick way to lose trust. So if you're only posting once every couple of days, like Chad's suggesting, then you definitely want to be making sure that your content is on point and good. But at the end of the day, post and run. If, like Chad said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think you're right. So many people get stuck in that perfectionism, and that keeps you stuck. And the only way to grow is just like take action. Action brings clarity. Not every post, most posts are not going to go viral. So if that's what you're looking for, you're going to set yourself up for disappointment. So post and run and engage with the people who are engaging with you. Really get to know them and connect. So yeah, I love that. And Chad, you show up, you're very polished and your lighting's great, your background, but you've been doing this for a while. It's not like you just started yesterday and you're like, here I am.
No. Yeah. If you just Google my name, there's other podcast interviews, and I just did them. I had the setup. I just had the, I didn't have the great background. All that stuff. It's just getting started. Right. And to be honest, I didn't even know I needed some of this stuff that I have. Now, if I turn my camera on, you guys can see everything I'm doing, but you just learn. Okay. And that's just part of it. Right. Every step of the way, it's like building a house for the first time. Okay. You don't know what you didn't do right until you just didn't do it right. Like, my parents built a house recently and they're like, man, I wish we would have done this. And I'm like, when I build my next house, I'm going to make sure I don't do that. Right. It's like, I'm learning from their mistakes. Right. Yeah. Luckily I didn't have to pay them to learn that, but you get the point.
Yeah. So we talked about building trust and authority. So we have that, and we're starting to get momentum. The next key is closing, right? Once we're getting them through the process, then we get to close our clients to get them the results that they want. A lot of people get stuck in the objections. So what are the most objections in high ticket sales, and how do you recommend overcoming them without feeling pushy?
Well, one thing I want to tell you guys first and foremost, doesn't matter how good you are at sales, you're always going to get objections. Like, first, know this, okay? That objections, the first time, it's always a smoke screen, okay? There's usually just I'm just nervous to buy something because we live in a procrastination. Okay. Procrastination. Everyone procrastinates. My friend calls me and invites me to a party this weekend that I'm really probably going to go to. I'm not going to commit on the phone. I'm going to say, yeah, let me think about it. I think I can go. It's just, I know I'm going to end up being there. So like realizing that most people procrastinate. Okay. Number one, smokescreen is at the first thing we need to just be aware of. Okay. And realize that you need to start answering these objections, but don't treat them as like, oh, hell's breaking loose. No one's going to buy from me. But the second thing is when you get good at sales, and I talk about this a lot in my book right here, the book on high ticket sales, is the discovery process. Okay. It's a lot easier to answer an objection when you get to the root reason why somebody wants to do something, why they want to do it now. You understand some level of urgency, what's holding them back, what their goals are, so that when they do give you an objection on the back end, you can tie and answer that objection back based on something that they said earlier. And now it doesn't feel like you're pushy, because if somebody says, Chad, I got to do this now because I've been thinking about it for years. Well, it's a lot easier to bring that up and say, well, hey, I know earlier you're saying you got to do this thing now, right? And I know it can feel like a big step. What has you kind of nervous right now? And it just feels a little bit more like a conversation. It doesn't feel like I'm using a sales tactic. It's like we're having a conversation right now. Yeah. And that's when it gets fun. But you got to know how to have an effective discovery, because that is where the sale is made. It's in the moment after you build rapport and you get to know how you can help them before you even tell them what you do. Okay. Yeah. But to answer the original question, which was, what are the main objections? You get fear, you get price, and you get spouse or approval by somebody else. Those are the three ones that you're always going to hear the most. But fear is the root of all of them. That's always the first one. And then you uncover that, it can lead to other ones. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. And many times when you get an objection, it's actually something deeper. It's many more times deeper than that. And it goes back to going back to the discovery, like asking more questions. The more questions you ask, the more information you're going to gather, and the more it's going to help you. And like you said, Chad, it becomes a conversation like we're having now. And then it doesn't feel uncomfortable. I know a lot of women's, like that's a lot of what I heard working with female entrepreneurs. I don't want to feel salesy. I don't like asking for money. So these are the things that Chad's sharing with you, no matter what space you're in, whether it's corporate or you're running your own, you're an entrepreneur running a coaching business. It's asking questions and building that relationship, and then having that conversational flow, and knowing that you're here to get them a result. If you're not selling to them, right? If you're not selling, they're staying stuck, or somebody else is going to help them that's not going to be as effective as you. So yeah, I'm really loving this conversation. So you brought up your book. So tell us about your book. What inspired you to write it?
Yeah. So, the biggest thing is there really wasn't anyone specific that wrote a book in this industry of like one call closing is what we could call it, right? Because in the consulting space, especially, but in a high transaction sale where it's like your goal would be to sign someone up, man, oh man, this gives you the frameworks. And I didn't write this as this big fluff book where I talk a lot about me and it's like super long. Very actionable. Like people read this, some people read it on a flight home and they can apply it. Like I break down the entire sales script for you, but I wanted to write it because one, I've been asked to write a book for a long time on this. And so there's that piece. The CEO of the company I used to work for, Chandler Bolt, he actually was like, dude, you got to write this book. You've been our top salesperson for years and this can help our future salespeople. But I know there's so many people in this industry that struggle. And so that was like a big motivator for me to get it out there. But then also, from a business standpoint, it was a really good tool that just helped me be seen as an authority. And here's my cheesy line. There's a reason why the word author is an authority, right? And so it's one of those things that people read my book and they go, wow, this is really good content. He really knows what he's talking about. And I have lead magnets in there that say, book a call, chat with me. I give away free stuff. And we grew an email list to 1,000 people in less than 30 days from the book. And that's so amazing. It's just using it as a different tool to get content out to people. That was a game changer. But at the end of the day, right, I put my best stuff in that book. I wrote that book so people don't have to pay me thousands of dollars. If they can't, they can learn it by reading it. That's the intention. Yeah. But then they can come to me if they want to pay, of course. But I want to help as many people as I can, right?
Yeah, I love it. So where can we find the book?
So you can find the book on Amazon. Number one, I don't know if you guys know this, but 90% of books, crazy, they're purchased on Amazon. So book's been out there for about a year and a half, and it's doing pretty well. I sell about, I think it's like top 5 in business consulting right now, which is a cool accomplishment. So that's something always exciting, but you can find it there. We give away a free audio book if you guys buy the book, all that kind of stuff. So you'll check that out. And there's some other free resources in there that are like absolute game changers, scripts, building, all sorts of stuff to kind of help you guys if you're trying to put together the perfect sales script, etc.
Amazing. So go check out the book, go buy the book and go to Amazon.
The book is the book on high ticket sales. And
okay.
Yep. I'll just grab it real quick. So it's a black cover, green letters. You guys can see here, might be a little bit backwards.
Amazing.
Yep. Ultimate Guide to Making Millions Through Remote Selling. And then you can find that again, on Amazon. And then also you can connect with us at highticketsalesacademy.com. And that's our personal site if you want to learn more about what we do. And then of course, connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Chat Aleo, all one word.
Yeah. And we're going to have all your links in the show notes. So if you're driving right now while you're listening and you can't write all this down, no worries. We've got you. But go definitely search Chat Aleo on social media, go grab his book. And Chad, so you also help businesses with, say, their sales teams. So when should a business owner or business consider building a sales team? And what are the key qualities to look for when hiring high ticket sales professionals?
So business owners, hear me out. This is extremely important for you. There's many people that think they need a salesperson. They're just not ready. Okay. There's 2 things that determine whether you're ready for a salesperson. One, you're booking at least 3 to 5 appointments on a sales calendar per day. Okay. You're ready for a salesperson. Okay. That would be a closer. Now you could be ready for a setter, which is an SDR. That's someone that's booking appointments for you to close. Okay. If you're still the salesperson, that's still, a whole other conversation, but you have enough abundance of leads where somebody can call on them and set appointments for you to close. That's when you're essentially ready. But typically if you're doing at least 25 to 50,000 a month in revenue, you are ready for a salesperson. You got to have systems in place. You got to know how to sell. You got to have recorded calls. You got to have so a script in place as well. And the only reason why I share that is because you don't want to just bring someone in and just throw them to the wolves and say, good luck. At the end of the day, you got to have something that teaches them because, unless you hire the world-class guy that's done all the stuff that you're hoping to build, you're gonna have to pay them a lot of money or give away equity and they can do all that for you. But again, that's gonna be very difficult if you're a startup company trying to figure it out. So making sure you're bringing at least 25,000 in revenue, you're bringing in probably somewhere between 500 to 1,000 leads a month consistently, okay, is when you're starting to get to a place where it's like, okay, I need to, clone myself for someone else to take these sales calls. And then from there, now I can focus on a different area of the business, okay?
Okay. So say a they're listening to you right now and they're like, we're here, we're ready to go. And they want to talk with you. What would that process look like to work with you?
Yep. So, of course, you can shoot me a DM on LinkedIn, Instagram. If you go to our website at highticketsalesacademy.com, we have in our header, we have a section that says like for sales reps and we have a section that's for companies. And so if you actually apply through that, you would get on a call with someone on my team that would interview you guys, just kind of learn a little bit more about your business, your revenue, lead flow, all that stuff. And then from there, just see if you guys are a good fit for us to give you guys salespeople. And assuming that you guys are, then of course we would give you, folks that are certified, and we have tons of different levels of certifications within our program, like good, better, and best candidates, so that you're actually interviewing people that are, hungry, good, have experience. But at the end of the day, it speeds up the process for you to not define people, but then also we're just doing a lot of the work, getting them up to speed and that kind of stuff, and still coaching them on the back end for your offer.
Yeah. So if you feel like you're here and you're listening and you're like, okay, we've got what Chad's been talking about. We're there. We're ready to take our business to the next level and bring on, a sales team or salesperson. Reach out to Chad through social media or go to his website. It is highticketsalesacademy.com and connect with them, reach out to them and let them, guide you. And if you feel like you're not quite there yet, go grab his book, the book on high ticket sales. Make sure you grab that and also connect with him on social media and go check out the website. I have one last question for you, Chad. What changes or trends are you seeing, since you're knee deep in it, in high ticket sales for 2025? And how should businesses adapt to stay ahead of the curve?
Content, social media, social media, social media. Okay. At the end of the day, guys, I mean, everyone thinks they gotta, I mean, don't get me wrong, you definitely want to pay for ads, but at some point, content is going to build the most trust with your audience, because at the end of the day, everyone's like, well, I don't have any followers. Well, guess what? Nobody follows someone that isn't doing anything. It's just like if I'm outside and somebody runs and does something really cool, then sure, I might go follow them because I want to go do that same thing. But if no one's going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere, right? And so content's the same thing. Everybody gets so caught up with no one follows me. No one follows me on LinkedIn, Instagram. It's like, because you don't post anything. Nobody follows someone that doesn't do anything.
Right.
And so set a goal to start posting consistently. Okay. And if you can't figure out what to post about, go to ChatGPT, prompt it, say, hey, write a quick 3-sentence post about how to be a better leader. I'm going to post it on my LinkedIn. Like, that'll help you get your creative juices going, and then make some edits to make it feel a little bit more personable.
Absolutely. Great advice. Thank you for sharing that. And then visibility is the key, right? In order to grow your audience, you need to be getting out there, posting content, getting out there in the media, like Chad's doing right now on podcasts. Like, those are great opportunities for you to be sharing your message. And we talked a little bit about this earlier. Release the perfectionism, because you're going to get better by taking the action and doing the reps, right? Just like exercise, losing the weight, getting in shape, everything takes reps. That includes your content. That includes your messaging. You're going to get better at your messaging the more messaging that you're putting out there, whether it's on podcasts or on social media, or, you're writing on a blog, whatever that looks like for you, sending your emails. You're going to start seeing what's working and not working. Chad, this has been incredible conversation. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that I didn't ask you or get to?
No, I think you're good. And I just always want to remind everybody this again. And you've already touched on it like 3 times. I've touched on it 3-4 times already too. It's like, guys, don't get caught up in being perfect. Okay. It slows you down. Just get something out there. Okay. That's how you get started, and just take the leap, right?
Absolutely. And when it comes to sales, remember, you're going to get better over time. Everything's going to get better. And then when you're at that point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to release this, contact Chad. But contact him anyway. Go reach out to him, consume his content, because he's got a lot of amazing free content out there. Go to the website, go connect with Chad. Thank you, Chad, for being here today. You can reach out to Chad on Instagram. You said LinkedIn, your website, which is highticketsalesacademy.com. Go to Amazon and go check out the book. It's called The Book on High Ticket Sales. And Chad, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, Heidi, appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. And, we chatted about content today. So if you feel your business is blending in and you're really wanting to stand out and you're ready to grow your visibility, be seen as the expert in your space, and scale to the next level, then go grab our Spotlight to Scale blueprint at spotlighttoscale.com/blueprint. Again, go check out Chad on social media and go to his website, highticketsalesacademy.com, and go grab his book, The Book on High Ticket Sales.